Hi everyone, this is Kathy from House of TOEFL. And I found this snail today at the Wilderness Preserve, and he was completely closed up in his shell and not moving. In fact, he looked dead, but I knew better from TPO 36, number 4. I knew this was his adaptation. So I brought him home and I gave him some water. And as you can see, he is quite alive and enjoying his luck because we've had a terrible drought in California. But today is really a speaking lesson, not a nature lesson. So what I've done is I've written a summary of TPO 36 number 4 in my own words. I'll read it to you, then I will give you a sample answer. And that way you can have an example of what an ideal answer should sound like. But I thought it would be interesting to actually show you it at the same time. So here is my summary of TPO 36 number 4 in my own words so I don't get in trouble with the ETS. Okay, now listen to a lecture in a biology class. Of course, some climates can be hot and they can be dry as well. And therefore, animals must come up with adaptations to survive in these harsh climates. This is very true during hot, long summer months in very arid areas. And one small creature that has unique adaptations is the snail. Now, as you may know, a snail is a small creature that lives inside a shell. It's a good example of an animal that can cope with long dry periods, and it does this in a few ways. The first way is it avoids the intense heat when the sun comes out. Snails do this by seeking shelter under vegetation such as plants, trees, or leaves. This allows snails to get out of the sun and avoid the heat. Now also keep in mind that the ground both absorbs and radiates heat, so the snail will crawl off the ground and go up a wall or tree where it's a little cooler. In addition, snails have to avoid drying out due to lack of water. During a very hot day, they will secrete a sticky substance made of calcium. This covers up the opening of their shell and closes the snail up. This prevents the snail from drying out and dying, and they can stay closed up in their shell for a long period, even a few months. Their metabolism slows down and they don't need food. They survive on the food and water they've already stored up. Then when it does rain, the snail emerges from its shell so it can obtain water and hopefully food. Beep. Now, before I give you my sample answer, I looked online and found out that they really like spinach. So I washed some spinach for him, and I'll get him a little bit more water too, because I'm sure he's very, very happy. He's the luckiest snail in the Wilderness Preserve right now. Okay, so how would I summarize this? Okay, yeah, that's his favorite. He's going to crawl right up on there. So cool. All right, I would summarize it. Now, forgive me, this may not be exactly a minute. I don't have a timer. But roughly, this is what I would say. According to the lecture, there are some climates that are hot and dry, and animals have certain adaptations in order to survive. First, she talks about what they do to avoid the intense heat when the sun comes out, and gives the example of the snail. Snails will seek shelter under vegetation like plants and trees. This allows the snail to get out of the sun and avoid heat. And since the ground absorbs and radiates heat, the snail will crawl away from the ground and perhaps go up a tree or a wall where it's cooler. The professor also mentions that snails have to avoid drying out if they don't have water. So during a very hot day, they secrete a sticky substance made of calcium, and it closes them up and prevents them from drying out and dying. And they can stay closed up for a few months. The snail's metabolism slows down and they don't need food. Then they emerge when it rains, so that they can get water and hopefully they can get food. Beep. Okay, so that would be my sample answer. So I'm going to give him a little more water. I'm going to put some vocabulary in the description of this in case you're interested in some of the vocabulary words if you don't know them, but this was really a speaking video, so the vocabulary is a bonus. Please don't worry about the snail. I'm going to take care of him for a few days and make sure he gets plenty of food and water, so the next time he has to close up, he'll be able to survive for a few more months. So he looks extremely happy right now. We say in English, happy as a clam. That means very happy. All right, again, this is Kathy from House of TOEFL with another one of my nature videos. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I'll be sure to answer them. And as always, good luck on your TOEFL test. Thank you for watching.